Good evening. Let us please stand for the national anthem, national song. Both of these are going to be done by representatives from the ALHCS concert band. We will then remain standing for our school song, and that will be done audio by a staff member and students whose names I will call after. And we will also, and there will be pictures on the screen for you to be nostalgic about. And then we're going to have an opening word of prayer by Mr. Perry Richardson. Please let's stand appropriately as we honor our land and our school. Let's remain standing as the flutes, if you can come off stage, thanks. Thank you.
Shall we pray? Father God, we give you thanks for the opportunity to be here tonight. Father God, you are the creator, and you have created us in your image. And so you have imparted in each and every one of us the ability to create, ideas. So we thank you for these students, for the business department, for putting on this business idea basket. What all may be done tonight, Father God, give courage and strength to all the presenters, that indeed they may be able to present to their best and be with the judges. Give them clarity of mind that they'll be able to judge accordingly. May your name be glorified in all that we do and say. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you. You may be seated. At this time, I'd like to set the protocol. We want to thank the Honorable Minister, the Honorable Premier, the Minister of Finance. Can you please stand so children can really know who you are? Please give him a hand. Thank you for coming. We want to welcome also the Honorable Minister of Education. I'm going to leave out social development for tonight. Please give her a hand. And her name is Miss, finish it with me, Miss Deanne Kentish Rogers. This is our minister, and we should know her name. Thank you for coming. Seated next to her is the Honorable Minister of Infrastructure, Communications, Utilities, Housing, and Tourism, Mr. Hayden Hughes. Can you give him a hand too, please? No stranger to us, may I say, Ms. Rogers and Mr. Hughes, this is your first time, but absolutely no stranger to us, is the Honorable Minister of Economic Development, Commerce, Information Technology, and Natural Resources, Mr. Kyle Hodge. Give him a hand too, please. We want to welcome our Chief Education Officer, Mr. Romney. Please give him a hand. We want to thank all the ministers that I just mentioned for taking their time out. They are very busy people, but we want to say thank you very much. Continuing with our protocol, I did mention Mr. Romney. I want to mention that we have the Director of Youth and Culture with us, Ms. Avon Carty. Give her a hand, please. We have the newly elected, newly positioned, our chair, the Board of Governors at the ALHCS, Ms. Carencia Rouse. Please stand, Ms. Rouse, so they can see you. As soon as you can, please do stand. Thank you. And we have the chair of the board of the Anguilla Youth Business Foundation is Mr. Clenvio Rogers. Please stand, Mr. Hodge. I apologize. Mr. Clenvio Hodge. I should know better. I taught Clenvio, right? But it's a lot of names in my head, so forgive me, Clenvio. Thank you. To all the other members of all the different boards that are with us, we want to thank our sponsors, which is the AYBF. We want to thank you for being here with us, our supporters, teachers, parents, and everyone, and definitely our online audience. We want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. At this time, I'm going to call Ms. Haskins, our Deputy Principal Curriculum, and she's going to come and formally welcome you. Please give her a hand.
Good evening, everyone. I wish to adopt the protocol already established by Ms. Griffith this evening. The Albina Lake Hodge Comprehensive School principal and senior management team are honored to serve our students and community in this exciting event, hosted by the ALHCS Business Department. This is the third consecutive year that the ALHCS Business Idea Basket, or BIB, is being held. Over the past 2 years, our business students exerted much effort and delivered rich and intriguing presentations for us. We are so very thankful to all the persons who made the previous 2 years possible. Tonight, here at the Rodney MacArthur Ray Auditorium, we come expecting to be amazed, challenged, and humored. We are proud of our students who chose to enter this competition and give the youth a voice on serious national issues. Thank you for coming, both in person and online, to hear them. On behalf of the principal and staff, I bid you welcome and hope you have a great evening.
Thank you, Ms. Haskins. At this time, I want to just give a couple opening remarks in terms of thanking our business department teachers. We have currently 9 teachers in our business department who have worked very hard. Seated over to the far west is Miss Marissa Ray. Can you please give her a hand? Mrs. Lois Carbon is seated here. Can you please give her a hand? Miss Kate L. Hodge, you're going to hear from in a minute also. Please give her a hand. She's here. And I'm calling them one by one because without them, this night and this week would not be possible. We also have not, am I forgetting anybody else who is here in the crowd? Okay, also not with us is Mrs. Fawn Campbell Toussaint. We have Miss Arlette Gums. We have Miss Shamaya Leroy. We have Miss Janessa Harrigan, Miss Regine Niles, and that runs up the crew. Yes, it does, and myself. And so we want to thank you for putting your faith in us to come to something because we know your time is precious and we do not want to bore you. So to get right on with the bib so that you can have an understanding of what we're doing here, I'm going to call Mrs. Lois Carbon and she's going to give a brief overview of the bib.
Good evening, all. We acknowledge the presence of Mr. Jose Vanterpool, member of the opposition, and Mr. Perrin Bradley. I guess he stepped out for a minute, our Deputy Governor. The Albina Lake Hodge Comprehensive School Business Idea Basket, which will be referred to as BIB going forward. The rationale: Anguilla is growing and developing. Issues relative to the growth of our economy, protection of the environment, infusion of sustainability and preservation of our tranquility are presenting themselves simultaneously. Anguilla's bright, youthful minds are generally left out of most current national planning and, importantly, even future planning. The ideas of our young people need to be showcased as they can inform and trigger national investments that would ensure that Anguilla is ahead of the curve and proactive in addressing societal needs. The purpose: to foster, promote, and bring to practicality youthful creativity and innovation in application to real-life issues in Anguilla. Our participants this evening are our business students from the Albina Lake Hodge Comprehensive School, and we have also included those who would have left school last year. Our collaborators: several individuals and businesses have collaborated with the Albina Lake Hodge Comprehensive School to execute the BIB in excess of $5,000 over the past 2 years. The Anguilla Youth Business Foundation, however, has remained the major sponsor of the BIB since its inception in 2019, and this year will become our strategic partner, working in collaboration with the Albina Lake Hodge Comprehensive School. description, students will arrange themselves in groups of 3 to 5. Each group will research the current Anguillan issue being focused on, and this year's topic, green, innovative, and tranquil transportation for Anguilla. Each group will be tasked with brainstorming for a creative, innovative, out-of-the-box, high-tech solve for the issue that would benefit Anguilla economically, environmentally, socially, and in keeping with its Beyond the Extraordinary tagline. Each group will research, prepare, and deliver a presentation on its idea. This presentation should include a physical model, or at least a diagrammatic layout of the mechanism it is proposing. Each group will have 10 to 12 minutes to present in front of a live and an online audience. In addition to the top 3 places being awarded, 3 special team awards will be presented. These are Best Business Idea to Execute, Best Presentation, and Highest Creativity and Innovation. Certificates and the prizes will be given to each participant and to the winning groups. Our presentation outline for this evening. Each group's presentation will include a situational overview, cases reviewed, the pitch, which is a description of the idea's location, layout, logistics, finances, benefits, challenges, potential investors, and finally, the wrap-up. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd also like to acknowledge Mr. Bradley. May I ask if this is your wife? No? Okay, I'm sorry. No, it wasn't. I'm sorry, I didn't want to acknowledge, do without acknowledging if she was with you. I apologize. I would like to ask also forgiveness for not saying not acknowledging the principal, Mrs. Rita Carty. I did not acknowledge you before, so please, our principal, can you please give her a hand? I'm now going to call, moving on, Mr. Clemvio Hodge. He's going to give strategic partnership remarks, brief as we go along through the program. Mr. Clemvio Hodge, please give him a hand.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Griffith. And yes, I was a student of hers accounting class some years ago. And today I am here an entrepreneur. I think she's probably proud of me because I came from a business class, and today we have students who are going to be presenting business ideas for the future. What the BIB has done for Anguilla, I would say, is present our students an opportunity to express the ideas that they have for Anguilla and Anguilla's future on topics and themes that are very difficult and things that our government officials and politicians have to rack their minds about when on the campaign trail, when actually in government, as to how we can diversify Anguilla's economy. Last year it was around tourism. This year it's around eco-transportation for Anguilla. As we know, Anguilla has had an influx of vehicles into the island, and roads are now very congested. I know a lot of people are complaining about how the Valley Road is at this time as we try to build and modify, but it is still a testament of our future as it relates to transportation. Now we have quite a number of beautiful ideas here, and I'm very, very looking forward to hearing what they have in store for us. Now, seeing as the BIB, let me just take off my mask. It's a little difficult to speak in it. Yes, so seeing as the BIB has become or is such a grand opportunity for Anguilla, and the Youth Business Foundation's mandate to actually assist in promoting youth in business in Anguilla. We are very proud to establish this strategic partnership with the ALHCS and the organizers of BIB to ensure its success into the future, to provide monetary sponsorship, to provide support, and further opportunities for our students. I believe that there is great potential in this if we continue to support. I see there are a lot of students here. I see there are a lot of supporters of the students who will be presenting. And I'm sure there are many more persons online looking eagerly to see what ideas they have to pitch. And so, with that, I would like to welcome those who will be assisting me in signing the strategic partnership tonight, and to future collaborations for the Youth Business Foundation and the Business Idea Basket. Thank you very much. Okay.
At this time, they are going to be signing the Strategic Partnership Agreement. This agreement will bind the Albina Lake Hodge Comprehensive School and the AYBF in a partnership. It is being signed by both chairpersons of our boards, Chairperson Ms. Karen C. Rouse, Chairperson Mr. Clemvio Hodge. Can you please give them a round of applause? Thank you. I'm now going to invite Ms. Hodge, Kadel Hodge. She's going to introduce the teams, introduce the judges, and then we're going to get right on with the show.
Good night, everyone. I adopt the protocol already established. Our teams this evening, we have a total of 7 teams. And the first team is Eco Engineering. The members are... Members, as I call your name, you can stand. Members, Keenan Lloyd, Amani Gomes, Jane Wu, and Genesis Jennings. Team number 2, we have ALC Transportation. Members are Alicia Carty, Leaford Gomes, and Chavez Gomes. Team 3, Sunshine Seaways, we have Kishanti Konakati, Tia Phillip, Carrie Zeng, Tishana Charles, and Jalique Adams. Team 4, we have the Green Buzz, and the members are Wendisha Hodge, Matthew Simon, Vinay J. Hunkins, and Kaya Fleming. Team 5, the Shakers. Members are Endrick Alexander, Patrick Alexander, Francesca Richardson, Monet Gomes, Christina Khalifa. Team 6, the AXA A Makers. We have Kishana Edwards, elect Kyra, I think I pronounced that right, Adams, and Mario Hodge. Team 7, Echo AXA members are Shante Maynard, Rihanna Stott, Kishana Harrigan, and Axel Malando. I'll also introduce the judges for this evening. We have 3 special categories to be judged. And the first one is the best idea to execute. We have the former teacher and director of Department of Youth and Culture, and now our current Chief Education Officer, Mr. Bren Romney. Can you just give a wave? Former teacher, first ever director of tourism, both designer and builder, former parliamentary secretary education, local historian, author, movie producer, entrepreneur, and a passionate environmentalist, Mr. David Carty. We also have best presentation of idea, and this will be judged by you, the audience, both here and online. Please remember when you're voting to vote for the best team that presented the idea. Do not be biased. Best presentation of idea. We also have the Beyond Extraordinary, which is judged by our former hospitality professional, former parliamentary secretary, tourism, and entrepreneur. As the Honorable Minister of Infrastructure, Communications, Housing, Utilities, and Tourism, he has spearheaded several major projects, and that's no other than Mr. Hayden Hughes. And now for the main focus areas to be judged and the criteria. I would like you to know that each focus area carries a total of 10 points. So focus area creativity, the criteria is as follows. The ability to develop new ideas and discover new ways of looking at problems and opportunity. This is judged by a portfolio entrepreneur, the principal of Mullins Architecture, business leader at IN ANGUILLA, Mr. Vanwan Brooks. Innovation, the ability to apply creative solutions to those problems and opportunities to enhance or enrich people's lives. A master teacher, a mentor, and intellectual and emotional intelligence, our principal at the Albina Lake Hodge Comprehensive School, Mistress Rita Celestine Carty. Aesthetically pleasing, beautiful to the eyes. Past ALHCS debating champion, past national and international beauty queen, a fashionista, a lawyer, Honorable Minister of Social Development and Education, Miss Deanne Kentish Rogers. Economically beneficial, the capacity to generate national revenue. Tropical treats entrepreneur, a husband and a dad, Honorable Minister of Economic Development, Mr. Kyle Hodge. Environmentally friendly, not harmful to the environment, a husband, naturalist, agronomist, and most of all, a public servant, Director of Disaster Management, Mr. C. Andre Samuel. So there you have it, our judges for this evening. Yeah.
Can you give Ms. Kedela Hodge a hand, please? So we're going to jump right into our team presentations. One of the major impetus of this evening and this topic is an article in the Anguillan which ended with this paragraph. If it is our fate to eventually go the way of Kiribati without lifting a finger in our own defense at a time when fingers and hands by the millions are bending theirs to the plow, then I will be ashamed of my island home. If we cannot change our thinking and therefore will not change our future, I take no comfort in the fact that my generation will have little to worry about, as we will all be in graves somewhere across this island before the real trouble begins. But it is our children, especially our grandchildren, who will face the fire as the planet begins to burn. It is they who will see hell. Wake up. And that was penned by our first judge, Mr. David Carty. And this is one of the wake-up calls tonight. We are in a serious problem on our planet, and one of the things that is pushing this problem and feeding this problem, fueling it, is our transportation means. Tonight, we move forward, and I'm going to ask you, audience, please smile. The children have worked hard. They are a little bit nervous. It will make, well, they can't see your smiles behind the mask. Oh, yeah. You take it down once and then smile and let them see that you're smiling, okay? And so they are, well, you know, we can see if you're smiling. Don't frown your eyebrows. You know, relax your eyebrows. And they are here to give their hearts and soul. And whatever they do, I'm asking you, let us be appreciative as they come forward. So, for the very first presentation of the evening, can you please put your hands together for the team, which is called Eco-Engineering. May I please have 2 mics, please?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are Eco-Engineering, and we aim to transform the valley through movement. I'm sure that you all agree that over the past 5 years, there has been a drastic technical difficulty. Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are Eco-Engineering, and we aim to transform the valley through movement. I'm sure that you all agree that over the past 5 years, there has been a drastic increase of traffic congestion in the valley. Rush hour is more like a crawl, and it is only going to get worse if nothing is done about it. And let's talk about those discos on 4 wheels. I'm sure we have had enough of the blaring speakers on the valley road. However, we can fix this through the implementation of the VICO system. The VICO system aims to create an eco-friendly, healthy, simple, innovative means of walking, doing business, shopping, and lazing through the town center through the implementation of a car-free zone. Workers and surface consumers would be encouraged to walk, stroll, or use the eco-friendly transportation that would be provided. These vehicles include bicycle and electric scooters for the adventurous, solar golf carts for those that enjoy a more personalized, convenient means of movement, and solar buses that continuously loop through designated routes.
We believe better traffic requires more than just the mere implementation of vehicular transport. No matter how technical, it requires a system, thus the ecosystem. The boundaries run from the 6th Farm Block to the library roundabout to the airport. It also includes the Strip and the Valley School Road. The regular passage of vehicular transport will be restricted from Mondays to Fridays, 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Residents of the area, emergency, and utility vehicles are allowed to enter the zone free of cost. Companies and businesses that would want to travel through the town center will be allowed to register 2 vehicles to be used within the zone. However, they have to pay and renew their licenses. Any other unauthorized vehicles will be charged $1,000 EC. To prevent unauthorized vehicles from entering the zone, police officers would blockade and guard the entrances. Our main means of transportation are solar panel buses. In the design, there is a door for each row, enabling a quicker on and off rate. Furthermore, the door, being mostly transparent, allows a great view to passengers, which would be appealing to the public and even more so, tourists. Starting out, only 1 to 2 buses will operate at a time. They will arrive at the bus stops every 5 to 10 minutes and continue on the route. But of course, there will be extra stationary buses on standby, whether to assist or substitute. To use a bus, it costs $5 EC per day. An app will be developed and complementary to the entire system to help reduce the hassle of payments and make the process more convenient. When boarding, you can choose if you want the money to be taken straight from your account or simply pay in cash. However, if you prefer not to pay every time, you can also purchase a monthly pass for 50 EC. Passes have a scannable expiration date, which will no longer be valid after that time passes. Additionally, you will receive a physical and virtual copy of your pass. While these buses will only operate in the zone, it is suggested to switch out the regular school buses for more eco-friendly ones. For parking, there will be 2 main locations. The first will be next to the airport, and the second located in the front section of Campus A. In time to come, Campus B and the new school building will be mostly utilized. However, a divider can be placed if they wish to continue using the other buildings in Campus A. The parking spaces will account for people who wish to park their cars and leave, as well as an even distribution of stationary buses and the various rentals. The area will be indoor, well secure, and aesthetically pleasing. Furthermore, the ecosystem includes a subsystem referred to as the EcoStep Exchange. This win-win concept was created to enhance the experience for those who would like to get around without taking neither public nor private transportation. It involves receiving monetary rewards towards utility bills and/or payments for walking instead of using a vehicle. The calculations are based on the number of steps a person has taken within the zone, specifically during the operational time frame. The yearly membership costs 100 EC, and the first year is 50% off. To register, you must sign into the app, enable locations, and allow for steps to be accessed. The exchange rate is 10 cents for every 100 steps. Not only does the EcoStep exchange system encourage people to walk and acquire exercise, but also influence the creation of a more social and friendly environment. As the operation expands over time, we envision implementing cycling lanes and making Central Valley completely solar.
So after all of that, we have a table of all the equipments, vehicles that is needed for this ecosystem to work. It is estimated to be about 3.6 million EC dollars for the whole ecosystem of. And okay. We also have a table of We also have a table of how we will gain revenue from from the EcoStep exchange program and bus tickets, bike rentals, scooter rentals, and golf carts, and also violation tickets for cars that are entering the no-car zone.
The implementation of the VICO system makes way for many environmental, social, and economic benefits. VICO system reimagines the valley with the lush greenery and stately palms of the four-season driveway, married to the sophisticated, relaxed atmosphere of Parisian sidewalk cafes. This can be achieved by allowing design opportunities for enhanced town planning through the creation of space by eliminating traffic. The car-free zone would also play a part in decreasing carbon emission, noise pollution, traffic congestion, protecting the environment, decreasing stress levels, making people happier, and encouraging friendly social interaction. Our system encourages more people to be outdoors. With this being said, it is expected that they would be healthier because of their exposure to sunlight, fresh air, and their engagement in exercise. As a result, health problems such as hypertension, diabetes, and obesity can be combated through the implementation of this system. Because businesses within our car-free zone would also see an increase in sales. Because now people are walking, it would be easier for business owners to market their products or services. People would also be more inclined to browse through shops and buy from street vendors. Through our EcoStep exchange, we help to lift people's financial burden, and we would also help them to save money on gas. I'm sure that we all can agree that the VICO system would benefit Anguilla greatly. To Mr. Van Bun Brooks, this system would allow you to express your creative ideas on the development of the valley. To Mr. Bren Romney, this system would help to provide street safety for our school children.
VICO's system is transformative, innovative, and sustainable. It is a climate action plan that aims to protect and restore our island's ecosystem. We are the eco-engineers, and we endorse the VICO system initiative. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Mic test. All right, judges. Questions or comments? The quicker you shoot, the faster we get out of here. Sir.
Yeah. Good evening. First, let me say I'm impressed, and I don't get impressed often. There is something really intriguing about this, and I'm a bit biased because this is what I love. Take all the cars out the valley, make everybody walk, just great, good night, goodbye. What you did though, how you expanded it and how you show that it could be viable is actually quite intriguing. the Valley is the perfect place for this, and I applaud you for seeing the possibilities and potentially what can be done and the future. We're going to have to go in this direction one way or the other, whether we want to willingly or going to be forced. I love your ideas about the parking lot, where you can park. I love your ideas about the fines. Not sure about blockading and patrolling, and that might not it might look like a police state, but I really do like the idea of forcing people to do what's good for them. It happens a lot more often than you can possibly imagine. It was thoughtful. It was well laid out. I saw some numbers there that are scary, but we can it was interesting. It was interesting. I applaud you greatly for this.
Thank you. Any other judges would like to ask a question or comment? Yes, sir.
Good evening. I want to echo the sentiments of Mr. Brooks. I thought that you took a very, very green approach to the assignment. Two things, though. Based on your numbers, it means that we have to have at least 1,000 people walking to make the revenue that you projected. That's one. So that's the lowest of all the numbers you have there, which is good. And I just want to say that you touched on a couple points. Person's health, you're pushing a certain healthy lifestyle, so that's quality of life. You're pushing a sort of car-free zone. I think you might need some more rest spots because a lot of people will be walking, so you would have probably put something in there. But I just want to ask, what's going to be your PR or your public awareness program to get everyone walking? Because Anguillans like to park right next to where they think. Yeah, so, but the whole, and then also the aspect of commerce, that's a very good economic activity. So, like Mr. Brooks said, the Valley is the perfect place to do this. But I just want to know how you're going to promote persons walking.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Mr. Samuels wants to know about just a little bit about your figures and about the public awareness campaign, your PR.
About our figures, it's just an estimation. We don't really know. So I mean,
go ahead.
It was based off research and stuff. Right. And about getting people to walk. That's exactly what the Eco Step Exchange is about.
What's your PR, your public awareness? How are you going to push that out?
Billboards, advertisements, stuff like that.
Any other judges would have like to comment? Or
yes, I would also like to commend the team and also for highlighting the health benefits. But just like Mr. Samuel, the buy-in from the public, because even when things are good for people, that doesn't mean that they want to do them. So I think that you should, think a little bit about how you're going to convince them and even help them to contribute in saying that this is a great idea by perhaps surveying the population, and also highlighting the benefits. There could be an app for that, because you mentioned apps quite often,
yes.
To highlight those benefits for them so that it really works. Because as great an idea as it is, unless people really feel that they own it, they will not really participate. Unfortunate, but that's the way it is.
any last comments from down on the far end? Any judge down there? No? Sorry, one last comment from Echo Engineering.
Okay, I'm sure that if an Anguillan were to hear that their bills can lessen to our Eco Step Exchange, I'm sure they would want to play a part in it. And they would have no choice because the government, it would be...
there you go. Just a quick question. A totalitarian society we're creating. Just a quick question. Do you have any idea how many steps you take a day on average?
No.
Trust me, you do 10 cents for 100 steps, you'll be broke. You'll broke the system in a minute. People move a lot.
Yeah.
I love the incentive. We're going to have to definitely tweak that number because by the weekend, the entire system going to collapse.
Okay.
You're going to have to pay everybody bill. But, I love that idea in the incentive. And yes, because of the policies that are going to be created, which you suggested that the government will then implement, they won't have a choice but to.
Right. It's the truth.
Thank you. Can you please put your hands together for eco-engineering? We're going to give the judges 1 minute, and they're going to do anything they need to do. In the meantime, I'm going to ask ALC Transportation to take their place. Can you please put your hands together for ALC Transportation? You may begin.
Thank you. We'd like to adopt the protocol already established. Now, before I formally begin, we have a question. How many of you drove here this evening? By show of hands.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, that's too much.
That's true. In the early 1980s, it was said that you could count the number of cars in Anguilla on your hands. Today, there's a chance of over 5,000 cars, almost 3,000 Jeeps, 450 trucks, 661 pickups, 397 vans, and 128 buses being on the road at any given time.
Imagine, there's almost 9,000 vehicles on the road. If you know Anguilla population, you know.
So as a new driver, you could not pay me any amount of money to be caught in a lunchtime rush between trying to navigate tight traffic, the new detours, people who seem to not know what an indicator is and how it works. Listen, honestly, on a serious note, trying to get through Albert Lake stoplight, 12 o'clock, 30 minutes to 1, has really showed me the volume of traffic that Anguilla really has. Not only is this high concentration of vehicles a problem for the environment, which one of my colleagues will tell you more about, but this culture of needing and having to drive will continue to contribute to future road congestion. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are ALC Transportation, a company with an idea to help mitigate traffic congestion on our beautiful island of Anguilla. Our business idea steps away from the mundane, utilizes technology, and focuses on comfort to create an efficient luxury experience. During our research and the conceptualization of our venture, we kept the COP26 goals in mind. So not only is our idea for public transportation viable and innovative, most importantly, it is sustainable and environmentally friendly.
Correct. So now we'll dive right in on how this bus service will work. So, as you can see, this is the map of Anguilla. We have 10 bus stops, only for now. We only have 10 because we're just starting. We have number 1 at, afterwards I'll explain why these are at these specific areas. Number 1, we have Island Harbor Wharf. Number 2 is the Shoal Bay Roundabout. Number 3 is the Sand Hill Roundabout. Number 4 is the Carteret Boulevard. Well done, Mr. Hughes. 5 is the airport. 6 is at Tomac Plaza. 7 at Underground. 8 is at the Ferry Terminal. 9 is at NCBA West. And 10 is at Best Buy West. So, 1. Island Harbor Wharf. If you're living in a valley, if you're walking in a valley, most likely you'll be coming from, no, sorry. If you're living in Island Harbor and you have to drive every day to walk to the valley, that is costing you gas money. So we are accompanying for the persons in Island Harbor. 2, the Shoalway roundabout. We are going further along, which this is the area where we have high traffic. So and also its bus stops are good in roundabouts. So yeah. 3 is the Sandy Hill roundabout. There has a little pull off. So we are looking at putting a bus stop there. 4, the Carteret Boulevard. That is, for those that didn't know, the Valley Main Road. Freshly poured concrete today. Yeah? Okay. We have 3 bus stops in that area, so we just put a generalized area, Carteret Boulevard. 5, we have the airport. We got to have one at the airport since also the minister brought in American Eagle, so we know we can't have persons. We are reducing congestion, so we can't have persons getting a rental from Hots, the other places over there. 6, Tomac Plaza, another general shopping area, high traffic. What else? What else we have at Tomac Plaza? We have highly populated as well. We have some persons living around that area. Where we are. We got 7, Sandy Ground. If you want to buy some fish, you catch a bus, you head to Sandy Ground. Number 8, the Ferry Terminal. We had a little mix-up in the numbers, no worry. So this is the Ferry Terminal. We have to have one at the Ferry Terminal because, to get to St. Martin. And number 9, that Friday afternoon, the bank standing up. Lord, when I get over here. So we also cater for persons going to the bank in the west. And 10, Best Buy West, you gotta get the groceries. And it's we have to accompany for the end of the island and persons living that far. So this will walk. We'll have 3 buses. So the buses run from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. Start running at 6 a.m. So the bus driver is going to be leaving the public works area where the buses will be housed and drive to the valley. After the buses drive to the valley, if persons want to catch a bus, they can catch a bus in the valley. 3 buses. So 1 bus will run from the valley to West End straight. The other one will run from the valley to Island Harbor. And the other one will run from the valley to the airport, Plum Point, back to the valley, and then it will start at normal route. We do not have any projected exact bus hours. So the bus system will have a check-in device of the buses. So at any given time, you will know exactly where the bus is and when the bus will come. Because Angola is very small, and you can't judge how long it will take, how much traffic will be coming from west, how much traffic will be coming from Island Harbor at a certain time. So therefore, we will just give you an app where you could check the bus at any time so you know exactly when you can catch a bus. For the airport and Plum Point, we'll have scheduled times for the buses because, when American Eagle comes in, when the last boat, when the first boat in the morning is going out, then we'll have scheduled bus hours. Okay, Now we'll go on and talk about the buses.
All right. So the bus we have here is the spirit of Equus. And as the bus as the label on the side says, equal access for everyone. And when we mean everyone, when we say everyone, we mean everyone. So here we have the energy system. The bus will be run by battery power, which can hold up to 537 kilowatts of power, which is equal to 220 miles. So you imagine running a bus 220 miles a day on a full battery, and we will still have the solar batteries, the power stations where you can charge them. So next we have an image of the bus. It is a 33 passenger bus with 35 feet long. We have space for up to 6 wheelchairs with a ramp, so we can account for everyone. Because with people with the elderly in wheelchairs, persons may not have access to go carry them somewhere if they feel like going around. So now with the bus, we have the ability for them to get on, go somewhere, enjoy the sights, and go around because they have more capability. Now this is a photo of the driver station. As you can see, we have it boarded off, where the driver has his own personal space, no need for interaction. Now moving on to the seating, it is a 33-seater with enough space in front and to the side of you so you don't feel too crowded around everyone else. And at the rear end, you can see where a wheelchair is also able to be put in place. Now we went over this. This was just the model. Now lastly, we have the bus stops here. The bus stops come with solar panels to keep the energy running on top of the advertising space, and cameras, sensors. We have the bus stop marketing, which shows when the buses will reach, what time they're leaving, which bus is going to which direction, and keeps us informed. We also have traffic information, which shows where the stoplights would be and which stoplight is currently in use, which one might be not working at the time, if we hope to keep it all informative and up to date. We also have Wi-Fi at the bus stops in case you're there for a while, you came early, bus leaves 8:30, you're there 8 o'clock. You have time to scroll through, relax yourself until the buses arrive. We also have ATMs in case you're going one place and you have low on cash, quick access. No need to go to the bank right away.
We know them ATMs don't be working, never working.
And you also
These ones gonna work though. These ones gonna work.
We're keeping this one top up. No need to worry. I have much money for everybody. And now we have the cash flow statements, which might work.
Okay, so we are only charging $2.50 EC per trip. For full day pass, we'll be charging 5 EC for the whole day, so you could go wherever you want to go for the whole day on 5 EC. We have month passes for $65, and we have week passes for $18. So we give you a little deal on the $18 for the week, so that way we get and then we also want to reward persons that are using the bus service more often than some. So we also show the expected customers per day. So we are expecting these amount of persons for the first month as we start out, because eventually we like to expand the business and get more buses, more bus stops, and more persons using this system. Okay. Here we have expanded version of exactly how much revenue we'll be making per year. So we would like to start this bus service in March. So this service ain't starting next 10 years. We getting straight into it. As soon as Mr. Hayden has finished with the Valley Road, we're gonna be driving on that bad boy. Next, we also have the how much the buses would cost. We expect it to come up to about $500,000 for the 3 buses. The bus stops will come up to about 20,000, and we are hoping also, we are looking for a loan from the government. Not a loan, but my accountant, so he just can't put investment for his accounting, practice and purposes. He had to put loan just to make sure it's correct. But we are looking a $20,000 investment with 5% equity, and we'll give back. We'll repay you. We'll repay you $4,334 every month until the loan is paid back. We'll be making about on the end. So we'll be making about $907,978 a year. That's how much revenue we seem to bring in for the first year. For the second year, we'll be hoping to get more persons onto the bus system, using it regularly. By the time then, all the school children, they want to catch the school bus, they want to go on the paid bus, because that's where the cool kids is, So we'll have 8 bus drivers. We'll have shifts from 6 to 12, 12 to 6, and 6 to 11. And we have 3 buses. So, Also, let me make sure I ain't missing anything. We will also like to get the hotels as investors. We would like them to invest in our company and get their employees to use this bus service to get to work and from work. Because if you know, we're probably about 300 persons going west every day just to go to work. So if we get those persons to use the bus service in the future, when we get about like 10 buses and stuff like that, get all those persons, then the hotels can use that parking space that they're using for parking. They could probably turn that into the next 3 villas, which will bring in revenue, etc. Make sure. And also, just before I end, we will like, if they had more buses, we will have them also. Thank you.
Please give them a hand. Any judges, any comments or questions from any of our judges? Yes.
Very good presentation and timely. However, I have some questions, and
Sorry, we can't hear you.
No, I said I'm one of few words in soft spoken, so. But I'll try to speak up. I was asking a question about charging ports at your bus stands. I didn't see any charging ports at your bus stands. Were there any charging ports for cellular phones, etc., laptops, and the like? I didn't see that included. So,
okay. So you mean for persons and not for the bus itself?
Yes, persons.
So a part of the luxury experience, you're on the bus, but you're like you're home. So you have Wi-Fi, and would be provisions for charging stations if you need it. And yeah, so that would be more on the bus and not necessarily at the station, right? At the bus stop.
Imagine it as your home away from home. You relax, driving, you got your charger, you got your phone, you got Wi-Fi. You just relax.
Another question and a comment. There are many attempts made at bus services dating back to the 1980s, when we even had less vehicles on the road, and none of them were successful. How do you intend to get persons to utilize the bus service, given the fact that we have more vehicles than people on island?
So, recent bus services did not really push the initiative as strong as we would. we would make sure, like for one, we'll be getting the hotels on board, so that way that large amount of population using the buses at the earliest stage would push this initiative to get persons using the bus. Also, the prices. $18 a gallon of gas, $250 a trip to West End, ain't adding up.
Good point. Good point. My final comment and question is your revenue is $907,978. You have 8 drivers, but I didn't see an expenditure line because it'll come with costs, including maintenance costs, salaries, social security levy, and the like. So, and I'm not sure you're going to be GST payable because you're over the threshold. So, those are some of the expenditure lines that you need to consider when you're developing your plan.
We do have wages. That will be the cost of the bus drivers.
And the associated fees and taxes. Unless you're going to ask the Honorable Premier for a waiver on taxes.
We'll ask for the first year with no taxes, and then we will push back in our money into the community by giving, we helping to save the economy, not the economy, sorry, the environment, and also we providing a luxury bus service, not just any bus service. Thank you.
Is there one more comment from a judge, and then we can move on? Thank you.
Yeah. Are you ready for the questions?
Just one quick question. You spoke in your presentation about having a schedule for the port and for the airport, but that you're not going to have a schedule for the other stations. How would that work in conjunction with your plan to service hotel employees who would need to know where the bus is to get to work on time?
So for the hotel workers, that's for future. For now, we're just trying to get it on the road. So in March, you'll see these buses going up and down. But for now, we just trying to get the initiative started. It's all about getting started. So since we have the Carteret Boulevard with 3 bus stops, we need buses. So therefore, we'll be pushing this initiative as soon as possible, so that way we could save the environment and provide luxury public transport.
Please give them a hand.
Sorry.
Thank you very much. Mr. Samuel, your
may I add to the answering of his question? Because the ferry and the airport, the ports, they work on more of a time schedule. Like, okay, at 10 o'clock every day, a plane comes in. At 8 o'clock every day, the boat leaves. Our boat comes in. It's easier to put the buses running there on a schedule in accordance to the schedule that is already set. Whereas hotel workers have like a wider schedule, like they work from 7 to 12 or 7 to, so that's what that was as well.
All right, I think the last 3 judges on this end are insisting that their voice be heard.
Yeah, well, I just got one question. Very good presentation, first of all, and for being able to answer all the questions so far. Very good job. Have you studied any other countries to see what made their bus service successful? I'm thinking of population size being one of the key factors. Anguilla's population being so small, I'm thinking we're going to have some issues there. What are your thoughts on that?
So Bermuda, we studied Bermuda. Bermuda has a bus system in place, and they're very harsh on transportation. They only allow 1 vehicle per household. I don't think we could do the Anguilla because, Anguillans, and we might get through. And we love the people, and we are for the people. So, but yeah, we did study Bermuda, and Bermuda has a bus service in place. We didn't get to really talk about it because time is limited and budget constraints.
Yeah.
Mr. Brooks?
Yes.
Yes,
You made me
please. Let's
speechless.
try
Okay,
get the
so
words out.
A few things. One, love the idea. I think you could have delved a little more, the team, you could have gotten a little more into express and local stops. That's going to make express and local stops. So if you study if you study the migration and the movement of the people in Anguilla and how we go back and forth, there's a pattern that's going to emerge almost immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Large rush of traffic from 6 o'clock because of the hotel workers. Then you're going to get the government and the public service and businessmen moving between 7:30 and 8:30. And some of us on my left who are usually late around 9 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to get the movement from the central area for the lunch hour, and then you're going to get that same movement and migration later on in the evening. So what's be interesting would be to have the express stops, which I think that you have there, and then more local stops along the way. So while you're going to go to the major stop, you're going to be stopping at certain intersections along the way. What's also intriguing is to have a local bus route and day trippers bus route. I love the idea of what you're talking about, going from the valley to the ferry terminal, to the airport terminal, but their locations, their locales is going to be different to where the locals are going to go. So you have a beach route. So ferry terminal, airport, hotel, beaches, restaurant. You have that, this is when you're really expanding, because they're going to go different. When I leave my house, I'm not going to the beach, I'm going to the valley. So really forward thinking, I love it. Your numbers again are really off. If you're going to charge me $2.50 EC, I'm getting on your bus every single day.
That's right.
Yeah.
How much for the mooks? Yeah. Too expensive.
All right. And just
we love him though. He actually cares for the environment.
Mr. Samuel.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. ALC, good job. A few points. I thought that the approach you took for the bus stop, the actual bus stop, I thought that it was very streamlined. So you put in commerce, cash points, Wi-Fi, security features, the use of renewables. And if you looked at the Aruba example, Aruba started stole our renewable energy bid. Just ask Mr. Carty. And but they have solar panels on their bus stops today, so that's of yesteryear. So I particularly like that particular point. I thought though that your numbers were a bit low. I think Mr. Brooks said that too. But I just wanted you to pay more attention to the charging of the buses. You talked about a large volume of it's an electrical bus, but you didn't put a lot of example or a lot of emphasis on where you would be charging the buses and exactly how much energy it was using, because it would make more sense for you to supply your own energy, whether at the bus station or the refueling station. So I wanted you to put some more emphasis on that particular thing, as well as you looked at working from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. I thought that was very good, because even though I come in at 9 o'clock, Van Boom goes home very early. So,
yes.
And I'm working till 5. So, yeah, I know. So, so given that you said 220 miles, and Anguilla being 16 miles long, you're going to be coming up short in terms of your hours. So that's why I'm asking where you're going to be charging the bus station. But overall, I like the presentation.
All right, thank you. We are just on team number 2. One last final word, Mr. Gunn.
So the buses will be housed at the public works, same spot that all the buses we have. We'll have a solar station there, so buses will charge there and head back out.
All right, thank you. Put your hands together for ALC Transportation. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you guys for watching.
Give the judges 1 minute. As we do so, we will now call our third team for the evening. We want to thank you for the sacrifice, but I'm sure that you are fully awake. Sunshine Seaways, they are coming. Please give them a hand.
Good evening, everybody. Hi, my name is Tia. Hi, okay. I have one question before we start. Anybody ever get seasick going to mountain, smelling the exhaust and the boat rocking, vibration hot in your head? Okay, I thought so.
Welcome to EMB Sunshine Seaways. I am Kishante. Along with me are the boat members, Captain Tashana, along with the extra crew, Jalik, Tia, and Carrie. This boat is scheduled to carry 75 to 80 passengers max. The boat is equipped with life jackets under the seats. For children, the life jackets are in the 2 front rows of the boat. The boat has 2 emergency exits, one to the left and the other to the right. Complimentary drinks and refreshments will be served during the ride. The ride is approximately 30 minutes. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Thank you for sailing with Sunshine Seaways. Wishing you a day full of sunshine.
So, Anguilla's main attraction is her beautiful waters and exquisite marine life that lives below. Anguilla uses boats for almost every sector of the economy. Boats are used for fishing, as well as ferries to and fro neighboring islands, excursions around the island, and offshore keys. Most of these boats are powered by oil motors. This is unsafe for marine life and the health of the coral growing in Anguilla's marine parks. Since Anguilla's waters are its biggest tourist attraction, it is in our best interest that we preserve them. So we stepped away from land and we took the way to sea. For this reason, we came up with the idea of solar-powered boat engines. We observed our current situation and other local boat manufacturers to make our pitch.
What are electric boats? The boats will run on an electric engine which is powered by the sun using solar panels on the roof of the boat. Power is stored in batteries and the engine draws its power from the charged batteries to run the motor. AC or DC motors. An AC motor uses the alternating current to produce electricity, and a DC motor uses the direct current to produce energy. Solar-powered boats use charge controllers to prevent the batteries from receiving more voltage than they are capable of handling.
Why did we choose to do an electric boat? It is an existing idea. The idea of a solar-powered boat has already been introduced. The Turn Up Planet Solar Crafts project was founded in 2004 and was developed over 8 years of crafting. Turn Up Planet Solar is the largest solar-powered boat in the world and launched on the 31st March 2010. In May 2012, it became the first solar electric vehicle ever to circumnavigate the globe, taking 584 days between 2010 and 2012.
It is ecologically sustainable, meaning that based on a long-term perspective, we conserve the productivity of waters, the soil, and the ecosystem, and reduce our impact on the natural environment and people's health to a level that the natural environment and humanity can handle. This is not possible. There is no possibility of oil spills, noise pollution, or greenhouse gases emissions.
It applies to the SDG and COP26 goals. Sustainable Development Goal 7, affordable and clean energy, is to ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all. It specifically applies to the accelerated action on modern renewable energy is needed, especially in heating and transport sectors. It applies to a 2021 UN Climate Change Conference, COP26 goal, with the devastating effects of climate change. The atmosphere temperature continues to rise, in which turn makes the ocean hotter too. If the ocean's temperature continues to rise, this means that there will be more catastrophic hurricanes like Irma in 2017. Some of the goals of COP26 are to speed up the switch to electrical vehicles and encourage investment in renewables. For this reason, we chose to use solar power to charge the batteries for our engine. At COP26, we need to work together to enable and encourage countries affected by climate change to protect and restore ecosystems.
Yeah. Oh, okay. This is an example of how the engine operates. So in our far left corner, we have the solar panels. This runs to the controller, which regulates the voltage and power that will be stored in the batteries that are below. On the right side is the on the far right side is the remote, which shows you all the details, how much voltage you have, and all your storage that will be in the batteries below.
Logistics. Capacity of battery. If the solar panels are capable of producing up to 100 kilowatts of energy, it would take about 16 solar panels to produce this amount of power. Higher the capacity needed, the more solar panels needed. Batteries. Space on smaller boats is limited. Consideration can be made for smaller boats not to have to host the solar panels. Batteries can be charged using land-based solar farms and then transferred to boats to run.
Finances, 25,000 per motor, 1,000 per battery. Solar panels, 130,000 to 200,000 US dollars.
How will this benefit Anguilla's transportation? Solar-powered engines are vibration-free and do not produce any harsh exhaust fumes like diesel or gas engines. The cost of an electric motor is cheaper. It would reduce water pollution. It will make Anguilla more attractive to tourists who wish to travel to eco-friendly destinations. Soundproof electric boats are virtually silent and won't disturb the wild marine life.
Challenges. Some of the challenges that we might face are the startup costs for small businesses to invest in solar power and the environmental impact when making the batteries for these electrical motors.
For potential investors or buyers, we have fishermen, government agencies such as Fisheries Department, police, fire, customs, immigration, etc. Because, all these uniform bodies have boats to patrol our waters. Boat builders, boat enthusiasts, and environmentalists. Seeing that we are a small island surrounded by water, water pollution would hurt us the most. Therefore, we are going green and saving the marine. Here is a prototype of what a solar power boat would look like. On top we have the solar panels, and we can't really see the engine, but it's built in underneath.
Here is a 360 of the boat.
Thank you for listening to our presentation.
Please give them a hand. Let me start off by saying, Mr. Carter, you must be impressed of all the skirts up here. They're giving you a challenge. All right, judges, comments, questions? Mrs. Carty first.
I wanted to be the first to commend the girls for a very technical presentation that perhaps went They took a very reasoned approach, and I don't know, for some reason it seemed to be convincing that this could, happen perhaps even sooner than March.
Any further comments or questions? Mr. Carty, all the way down, would like to comment.
Oh, very good. You're not cooking on gas, you're cooking on solar. That's very, very interesting. That is absolutely the best way for us to save the environment, the marine environment, because the pollution from fossil fuels is a significant threat to our marine resource. But there's also the issue of sonar with the sound made from propellers, which this really doesn't overcome. The issue with electric boats is a wee bit more technical than you would like to learn, because there is a difference between planing hulls and displacement hulls, and the battery technology is still a huge impediment because batteries weigh a lot, and boats like planes have to be economical based on their weight. We won't need to go into all the technical stuff. What you have done, which is really, really cool, is you've put on the table a vision for the future. And in that regard, I think it was really, really good. Thank you.
Any further comments? We can pass it down, please, Mr. Carty. No one else? Ms. Kentish Rogers? No? The gentleman up here don't have nothing to say? Oh, okay. Please.
Just wanted to add to going green and saving the marine also is really, really good.
That's a tagline to go with. Mr. Samuel.
Great job, ladies. I was going to actually say, like, the tagline. But I also want to know, what's the price? Because you're very convincing. What's the price? Because you have a very luxurious looking seating. So what's the price per head?
The price ranges we had was children would have paid 10 US, adults would have paid 25, and babies would have been free.
Good job.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good job.
Mr. Brooks, no comment? All right, everybody, please put your hands together again for Sunshine Seaways, going green to save the marine. Judges, you need a minute? Yes? Okay, 1 minute. This topic is very dear to me. In about 2001, around that time, when I was doing my teacher training with some people in this room, this topic was my thesis. It was a topic for my thesis. And ever since, and even before that, transportation in Anguilla has always been my concern. I always really hated going to St. Martin because of the traffic. I would get headaches and so on. And I really don't want to see us end up like St. Martin. But I also know that St. Martin was like us. And if we don't do something about it, we could end up like them. When your neighbor's house is on fire, you put water on yours, right? Great. We are now going to move forward with our Fourth team, and I know it's getting late, but this is really good. Thank you for staying. Green Buzz. Please welcome them.
Allow me to adopt the protocols already established. Good evening, everyone. There has been a significant increase in the number of vehicles on our road. Without a practical approach, Anguilla will be faced with the problem of a reduction in air pollution, in a reduction of the quality of air caused by air pollution and severe congestion. With expected population growth, these environmental issues will be exacerbated, particularly in these areas where there is a high density of vehicular traffic.
We have thoroughly researched different countries where various approaches and policies have been implemented to create car-free cities with the goal to lower carbon emissions and reduce congestion. Some of these cities are Bogota, Colombia, Oxford, England, Madrid, Spain, and Oslo, Norway. These case studies helped to provide a framework for the implementation of our idea and provided the scope of possible benefits and challenges to be expected. Please enjoy our pitch.
Imagine the Central Valley as a car-free zone. The use of bike scooters for a cleaner, eco-friendly Anguilla. In order for this to be practical, the valley would need to be remodeled. To house car holding stations, bike lanes for eco-friendly interactive places for people to enjoy. The car-free zone will be enclosed by the following roads: the Calvin Washington Lake Road, Raphael T. Lake Road, St. Mary's Road, and most importantly, the Cartridge Bullion. That road would be temporarily closed between the hours of 7 a.m. and 6 p.m. During this time, residents and visitors will be urged to use scooters, bikes, or even walk to their destination. Those hours were chosen because these are the busiest times in the valley, and our goal is to reduce congestion. Any person who wishes to drive their vehicle on this road during closing hours will be required to pay a road use fee. Emergency vehicles and service vehicles are excluded from all these restrictions, of course. These bikes can be both regular pedal bikes and electric bikes that are solar charged. Through the use of our app, TransApp, You can register a bike for a day. The app will be used for unlocking a device. The app could be a form of registration. The app will record the total distance traveled, whether you ride or walk in the no-car zone. Points would be awarded accordingly. These points could be traded for money, gifts, or other incentives. Now, for these modes of transportation to work, we need to create places to accommodate the public. This is one of the areas we are proposing to use. This land has so much potential to be a national park. Imagine having a place where persons can go and relax, have fun, a place with business people from Flo in the post office can walk or ride a bicycle to go enjoy their lunch with their fellow colleagues. We can also redesign the People's Market to have vendors of produce in one area to allow for accessibility of goods. Our current situation right now, if a vendor in West End is out of plantains, I will not drive to the valley to check and see if another vendor has. I will simply do without. But now if we put all these vendors in one area, I could simply just move a few steps away to see if the next vendor has. Introducing Cedar Park. Here, we will also have bike stations available. This same layout could be used as a major bike station for the future. Benefits. Economic benefits. Everyone benefits from the multiplier effect. Our people gain revenue. Our people can gain revenue. From improving the valley's land, persons will have more options for business opportunities. For example, say somebody has land in the valley right now that they're not currently utilizing. If we make the valley a more productive area, they would be encouraged to use this land. With our example with the no-car zone, if a person has land and say they don't want infrastructure on it as of right now, they can now use that land that otherwise would have been sitting down doing nothing to house cars. They can also, if they wanted to save the land for future generations, they just don't park cars on it no more. But as of right now, the land would be generating revenue. Next, our locals benefit. From the use of our app, if persons use our eco-friendly modes of transportation, which is walking, using a bicycle, or using our electric scooter, they gain points. These points can be converted to free money. Our government benefits. With this new system, the government will have another source of income from our app and from bike fees. Private investors benefit. Through the success of our system, private investors will get returns on their profits. Foreign exchange will be more widely available. Imagine our park attracting tourists. Our local business persons would have easier access to foreign income versus just the hotels and the restaurants, already big established businesses. Social benefits. Main benefits surround the fact that there will be an increase in the quality of life. Through remodeling the valley, business opportunities will arise. Unemployment rates will lower. Our people would be gifted with the long-awaited escape, Anguilla National Park, a place to relax, a place to study, a place to be with family, a place to eat lunch. You know, instead of driving from NCBA to English Roads to buy lunch, and go park under a tree to eat. You can experience positive social interactions by walking to our park, have a place to sit down in the cool and eat lunch in a peaceful place with your fellow walkmates. There will be physical and mental benefits from walking, cycling, and also having a place to relax after coming from a long day of work. Environmental benefits. Our modes of transportation are all eco-friendly. Our solar scooters does not damage the environment. Our bicycles does not damage the environment. Walking does not damage the environment. We will be beautifying the valley. We plan to have trees planted all across the valley. It is sustainable and it does not damage the environment, rather protects it. It reduces and further prevents air pollution.
For security. Security on our app and our bikes will be placed Security. Cameras will be placed on the outside of our car stations to monitor any theft activity. Our bikes will be maintained regularly to make sure that there is safety between our customers, our community. For our future, the future. Let's make this a brand new future. The future will be implemented in modes of transportation. This will be effective, efficiently, and comfortable. Most importantly, it will be sustainable. If our people have cars everywhere, then there will be no space for our community. Thank you.
Please give them a better hand. Thank you. Any questions or comments from the judges?
First of all, I want to congratulate the group, Green Buzz, for their presentation. I think it was a well-done presentation. I know how hard it is to get up there, and I'm speaking for everybody who spoke this evening. Congratulations and well done. I do have a question about your app. You spoke this evening about creating a source of revenue for your app. Can you explain to me some more how that will work?
Yes, I can, but as of right now, we have our model on display. This is a display of what our park will look like.
All right, so let's look at this just for a minute.
the app, and how is that going to generate revenue?
Yes, and that's an excellent question. With our app has a lot of potential. This app would basically be mandatory because the car-free zone will be mandatory. So, and the app is a way of promoting the bicycles. So, everybody will have the app on their phone. That's a lot of potential. We could run ads on this app, and these ads could be particularly targeted at our locals, because those are who using the apps. Besides ads, we could make money from in-app purchases. We could have local businesses on this app. We could also, and this would actually be successful because it's only one market. This app is for Anguillians. So all the businesses, they come and they list their goods. They know Anguillians are gonna buy them. So we can get like 10% out of all the sales. So that's how we plan on making, that's just one way to plan on making it.
Great presentation. Also, I really like Cedar Park. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
And it took a lot of work and effort. But I have a question. You spoke of remodeling the valley. I hope you're not asking me to dig up the road. So,
it looks as if they are.
Sorry?
It looks as if they are.
Well, I would hope that is not the case. But be that as it may, a lot of the ideas that you present are low-hanging fruit. Some of these things can be enacted right away. As a matter of fact, from all the presentations, you can see some nuggets that you can extrapolate and you can enact very quickly. And hopefully, the presentations that you all make tonight will be shareable. We'll be able to take them back with us and see how we can incorporate your ideas into national policy.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hughes. That's one of the purposes of this event. Thank you. Anybody else has, Mr. Romney for the...
Right. Good night. My congratulations to the team. Well done in terms of the presentation and the concept. I was pretty much moved with all the presentations and the concepts presented, and like the minister mentioned, there are a lot of bits in all the presentations that can be taken out and further developed. I have a few questions. I wanted to get a sense, because Cedar Park is such a central part of your presentation. I was wondering if you can share to us your thinking behind it. Why a park? You did mention it's a space where workers who congregate in the valley area can go to have lunch, et cetera, et cetera. But when you think about design as elaborate as it is, what were you trying to accomplish holistically, right? For example, the various elements of the park, the greening, the water, what was going through your mind as you conceptualized the park and produced the model? If you could share that with us.
I really like that question. Our main idea was to have bikes and to encourage people to walk. Realistically speaking, we cannot cater to have bikes to accommodate everybody. So the next option will be to walk. We are humans and we like to complain. If I told someone to walk, they would complain. They would bring up every excuse. They'll complain about the sun hot. No. If we make the valley a more interactive place, where when you're walking around, you don't even notice that you're walking because you are just amazed by the entire experience. That was the entire idea of our park.
Sila.
Just one question. Where's the park located? I didn't get it from... where exactly?
What? Team, she's asking.
It's answered. It's answered.
Oh, sorry. Okay. All right. So yes.
So just quickly, a couple questions. Very important. Who from my office made this model? because I'm not paying them.
You can't, the mic is too...
You can't tell me, right. Listen, it's beautiful. Just based on experience, the kind of work that went into that is a lot of hours. Even the trees, I saw the trees moving. That takes quite a lot of work. So just quickly, what I love about this is it's a holistic approach to the green buzz. It's not just about putting policies in place, closing down the lanes, making sure that you use an app, but you also give them a destination, which is important. So in urban design, the whole idea is to, pardon? Oh, sorry. In urban design, the whole idea is to create a holistic approach to what it is that you're looking for. You gave them a destination, you gave them a purpose, you gave them a means of how to get there. It's interesting that you brought up, I believe, Bogota, Colombia, because in a part of the city, the mayor, about 20 years ago, did something very interesting. He stopped working on the roads. He actually literally stopped working on the roads, and what he did is they stopped investing in the roads. So the roads developed a lot of potholes. It was like Carteret Boulevard. And what they did instead, though, was that they created bike lanes. They literally created bike lanes. So the bus lane was beautiful, the bike lane was beautiful, but the road was horrible. And what it did, it literally led people to stop driving on the road. I'm not saying to take that approach, but there are very creative ways of how to do it, and you did a very beautiful thing by creating a park and a destination for people to go to. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Right, green buzz. Sorry, the environmentalist sometimes comes with a note of warning and caution. But for the most part, I thought that you did a very good job in balancing your green space. You didn't take out, seems to me that you didn't take out too much of what was going on. The only note that I had from an environmental standpoint was the note you had on, I think it was biodiversity. You were promoting biodiversity, which means that your selection of trees, grasses, etc. have to be a lot higher than what I saw within the scape. But I thought that the approach you took in getting the park together in the space that you put it in and trying, like Mr. Brooks said, to make it a holistic approach, food court or AKA the strip, former farmland, and trying to really make that into something where you have a destination and persons can use. I thought you took advantage of the persons shading on the trees to eat lunch, etc., and really turned it into something palpable versus what we have now. So kudos to you guys, and I look forward to a mini Amsterdam because it's safer to ride a bike than to drive a car. Thank you again. Good presentation.
Thank you. Thank you, Green Buzz. Our first three teams were from our sixth form section of the school. The last team we had, Green Buzz, they come from our fifth form. We are now going to have our first team from our fourth form section of the school. Can you please put your hands together for AXA A-Makers? That's not AXA A-Makers? I'm sorry. Yes, the Shakers. Skip to team, the Shakers.
Judges, parents, government officials, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant good night to you all.
I, Angelique Alexander. Patrick Alexander.
Monet Gums. Francesca Richardson.
and myself, Christina Khalifa, are here to deliver our idea to its full potential through considering green, innovative, and tranquil transportation for Anguilla. On tonight's agenda, we will be discussing the background, approach, problem statement, case studies, and then we will provide you with a valid solution through our product or service while touching bases of a value proposition, specializations, descriptions, features, scheduling, financial forecasts, and systems. With a staggering rise of the amount of vehicles Anguilla contains, it has come to a realization that maybe in the next couple of years, Anguilla will suffer from traffic congestion and unsustainability. My team and I have decided that there is a time for a change. We analyzed different scenarios and situations that can be considered a downfall in Anguilla's economy, transportation-wise, put them together and strived for a solution. What appealed most to us was the need for public transportation.
Here's a little background on our little Anguilla. From the 2011 census, the population is approximately 15,203, and the geography of being bare and flat with white sandy beaches along with being shaped like an eel. And we all know the main way of getting around in Anguilla is through private vehicles, your own vehicle, or through private taxis, mostly used by tourists. But what about those who doesn't have the finances to purchase their own vehicle or to pay a private taxi?
How we tackled the project of developing green, innovative, and tranquil transportation for Anguilla was looking into developing an effective public transportation system for the island. From a conducted survey, 80% of respondents believe that Anguilla does need public transportation, and 85% suggesting a public bus system. The reasons being that gas prices are extremely high, being $7 US a gallon. People who are not as fortunate as you and me still need to commute to work. Ownership of vehicles are expensive, which can consist of paying for the vehicle, insurance, which can cost 600 EC and higher per year, and not forgetting the maintenance of the vehicle, oil change, etc. It provides jobs. It also benefits the economy through taxes and our bus insurance. So, how can public transportation benefit public overall? Firstly, buses are safer than individual vehicles. Traveling on public transportation reduces the amount of cars on the road and decreases your likelihood of getting into an accident. For individuals with disabilities, riding on buses is also safer due to the amount of accessibility features available. For example, ramps, lifts, securement belts, and more make all-pace buses accessible to entire communities. Secondly, public transportation improves access. Public transportation allows individuals opportunities that they may not have had otherwise. It improves access to education, employment, and everything people need to be independent. And thirdly, buses create community cohesion. Public transportation promotes positive interactions between neighbors. It is more like an opportunity for entire community to be one, both people with disabilities and not. Buses can connect those with disabilities with other people by giving them access to entire community.
On January 27, 2022, we asked permission to conduct an interview with Honorable Mr. Hayden Hughes at Maiku. Speaking of what I actually heard, as I was accompanied by Mr. J. Martin, our coach, as a witness. He stated a few problems. Number one, there are currently more cars on the road than people in Anguilla. Number two, with current trends of vehicle ownership, traffic congestion will become prevalent, putting strain on our road infrastructure. Number three, this is bad for Anguilla in regards to maintaining a green, innovative, tranquil environment for the nation. But he also stated the development of the new road for the Carter Ray Boulevard, known as the Valley Road, is installing infrastructure for the future development of a public bus system. And there is an opportunity to create a public bus system for commuting for locals and tourists alike. With gained information, we did analyze some case studies and came across 2 other Caribbean islands who developed due to the development of public transportation.
But before we discuss the case studies, we have considered COP26. The Conference of Parties COP26 sets up various goals for the world's economies to reduce carbon emissions and increase sustainability. We thought that in one of its goals for countries speeding up the switch to electric vehicles is quite supportive to our cause and for Anguilla to be among the countries that are promoting this change. Cayman Islands. As expected, they suffer from traffic congestion solely because their islands are approximately 76 square miles. Imagine we are 35 square miles, which we will most likely suffer from traffic congestion if we don't act fast. And just like us, they have a solution: public transportation. In Barbados, e-bikes have been a great revenue creator for tourists and locals who rent them for transportation, tours, and recreational purposes. Other places who practice this would be the Bahamas and Antigua. Oh my God, I'm sorry guys, I need to check the time. Wow, it's 9:15. I'm supposed to be at work for 9:30. Where is she? Where's my sister? Let me call her.
Hold on, yeah, my sister calling me. Yes, sis.
Don't yes, sis me. Where are you? I'm supposed to be work at 9:30. Where are you? Shoot. Don't all shoot me. You better hurry up and come and get me right now.
Here, let me call mommy.
What happened? I figured I had to go pick up my sister here doing a whole presentation.
Felcher what?
Let me tell you about it.
Tourism industry, through a bus and e-cycling system, help those who are in need of transportation and those who cannot afford a vehicle. Lastly, installation of a beneficial bus and cycling that can help with sustainable living.
Here are some specifications of Felcher ride we are proposing. With a steering capacity of 22 to 25 passengers and a range of 99 to 190 miles on solar, we can complete about 4 to 5 circuits around Anguilla and in the valley. Here. We are doing green. We are running on the natural and year-round Anguillan sun, zero emissions, unlike carbon-emitting diesel. E-bikes promote health while providing power assistance. Overall, the bus and bikes features read from we have 500 watt hours. We have 3-hour runtime, 20-mile range. Regenerate braking recharges battery. Charging port for charging at station in 2 to 4 hours. 4 kilowatts solar panels for range extension. 44 to 48 kilowatts batteries. With these green technology, we have considered that the stations must also be able to create its own energy. Such, we have proposed that the bus station would be fully running on the solar panels on its roof to charge the electric bus. And also, we can sell whatever extra energy to Anglic and to create charging stations for electric vehicles.
As we can see, we have estimated that the price to start up will total up to $476,000.
Our proposed bus routes and timings are as follows. Peak hours where all buses will be running: 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., 12 p.m. to 2:30 p.m., 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. We have 19 main buses with our 5 buses running between them. Our e-bike range will focus on the valley areas for persons to commute.
How do we see making our investment back? Felcher Ride is producing standalone renewable energy transportation systems. Benefits the tourist industry as well. Other means of income are business advertisements, locals on bus, private events, selling solar electricity to Anglic, and private electric vehicles via charging stations. The fares, buses prices will be according to distance, 75% 1 kilometer. E-bikes,
rented according to the hour, which would be 5 EC an hour.
One way we are ensuring a smooth process for individuals are to promote our Felcher Right card and installing tracking devices for insurance that rules are being breached. Some of the challenges we foresee with this startup and how we intend to combat them are people not willing to ride the buses over their private vehicles. A solution for this? Offer deals such as unlimited bus rides for X amount of dollars a month. Secondly, high startup costs. Solution proposed, being green and modern will eventually allow us to make a profit. Thirdly, high bus fare costs. A solution proposed to go fully solar and advertisement space will aid with reasonable prices.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We present to you
Felcher
Rights.
Rights.
Thank you.
Like I said, these are our fourth farmers. Where shall we start?
Ladies and gentlemen, I think they deserve another round of applause. Yeah. Team Felcher Right, that was a very detailed presentation, and I could see all the judges basically leaning forward in their seats, a sign that they were very interested in what you had to say.
Thank you.
I particularly like the fact that you broke down from start to finish. You had the buses, you had your solar panel, your charging stations. You really put a lot of thought into this particular presentation. I only have one question. One more comment. You said 75 cents per kilowatt hours, and that's a very different approach to the rest of the teams, right? So my question is, why did you choose that one? I know why I like it, but I want to know why you chose that particular approach versus per head or and the package deals. Yeah.
Well, we chose that because according to some research that we did, other bus systems failed because people didn't want to pay a certain amount of money to go onto buses. So we said 75 cents. Being that since we are solared, over time we will make our profits and it will be much more than a little 75 cents we're asking for our citizens and our tourists.
So it's based on how much I want to spend and the distance.
It's based on what the people
Okay.
want.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was quite impressive.
Thank you.
That was really impressive. You went into a lot of detail. I don't have many questions actually, except what does Felcher mean? Please explain to me what does Felcher mean. I want to know. I need to know. Inquiry minds want to know.
Okay. My brother was on a bed one day and just thinking about this project, and my younger brother thought of Felcher Right, and we was like, Felcher Right, what are you talking about? And he actually came up with a slogan, and he said, yeah, fetch yourself a ride. I was like, what are you thinking? So I was like, all right, we're gonna go with that.
Fetch a
Sorry,
ride.
look at that.
Just want to say congratulations. Well done presentation, and your setup, your slides, everything was just amazing. I like the fact that you are highlighting issues that are affecting us now and issues that are likely to get even worse with as it relates to congestion. And then you showed a picture of the derelict vehicles. We have an issue with vehicles coming into Anguilla that are, old model vehicles, especially the right-hand vehicles. So it's great that you're already seeing that, as young people seeing that as a problem. So I just want to commend you for your presentation. And just to ask, did you do an actual survey?
Yes, we did. We did.
How did you conduct the survey? Can you?
We did it via online. We sent out a Google Forms survey to 92 persons. Thanks to our coach, he shared it, and we had 92 responses.
Okay, Mr. Kati. Mr. Hughes on the way down, yes. Mr. Hughes, go ahead.
I just want to say great presentation, and it's obvious y'all did a lot of work. You know, you really did the homework, and you presented extremely well, and I was really impressed. Also, one of the things that impressed me is that you came up with the problems that you can foresee in the future, and you also had solutions to mitigate those problems, and that is very important. So, job well done.
Thank you.
I love the use of the skit. A little bit of drama in there, put a little theater in it, really great. So one suggestion that you might want to think through a little further, the fact of the bicycles. The bicycles nowadays are made of composite materials, and they can be made in Anguilla. You can actually start a manufacturing process for bikes because they're no longer metal and aluminum and so on. They're composites. They're made of fiberglass and resins. So that can start a whole new industry. So follow that one up.
We will.
Any other?
I just want to add to what was said before. It's an exceptional presentation. I was really moved by it. It was well structured, well thought out. You anticipated all the issues, or as many issues as you could have come up with, and you provided reasonable responses to it. And the presentation itself, the skit, as Mr. Carty mentioned, is exceptional.
Thank
well
you.
done to you all.
Thank you very much, the Shakers. Our next team up is another group of fourth farmers, and I really do want to commend our fourth farmers for stepping out there. And they are AXA A makers. Please give them a hand.
Good night, everyone. As you just heard, we are the AXA A makers. We chose this name because we are bringing our A game and because all of our names have an A's. However, the name of our business is AXA Express Limited. We enhance, we innovate, we bring you the eco-friendly option.
From walking to horse and buggy, bicycles, taxis, a failed bus system, and now personal automobiles for the majority of the population, Anguilla is yet to have transportation that is both efficient and eco-friendly. With government approval, our business idea will provide environmentally friendly, affordable, and efficient transportation for Anguillians.
What is an aerial tram? A system for hauling passengers and freight in vehicles. Anguilla is facing a problem.
Mario, what is the problem?
Congestion of cars in the valley with a growing population, and the primary use of cars is damaging the environment.
Kishana, how can we solve this?
We are proposing that the government implements a solar-powered aerial tram system in the valley with the use of bikes on the road. We intend to enhance the valley into a town that is aesthetically pleasing, which will in turn interest tourists and attract locals. Also, we intend to over time extend the trams to other key points, like East End and West End, like the East and West, as we strive to continue to reduce air pollution in the community. This will also create more employment for citizens.
What is an aerial tram? A system for hauling passengers and freight in vehicles suspended from cables, supported by a series of towers or hangars.
Why did we choose this idea? We chose this idea because it integrates enhancing the valley. It integrates enhancing the valley. It is something new and high-tech in Anguilla. It has proven to be effective in other places, and it also promotes a healthier means of transportation. We are not suggesting the elimination of cars, but rather alleviating the traffic congestion as well as carbon footprint it causes. How will it be aesthetically pleasing? We will add greenery to brighten and freshen up the valley, such as palm trees. We will add sidewalks and water features, add benches and small cabanas where necessary.
This is our potential logo. Multi-story parking will be available. Cars will park outside the valley and enter using the tram system or bikes. Bikes will be available for renting next to all parking stations in units and places where the trams stop in case you are not at your destination as yet. The tram system will have a schedule. There will be a southwest and north station located near the Wild Lake and Stony Ground Road. There will be access via elevation and fixed stairs. Emergency vehicles. The trams hold up to 10 people. However, if COVID continues over the years, the maximum will be 5 because we will follow strict protocols. Emergency vehicles will always have access to every road in the valley. Our proposal requires acquisition of extra land by the government. COP26 brought together world leaders to limit rising temperatures and climate change. Our aim is to play our part in reducing climatic change by reducing the carbon footprint in Anguilla. There will be buildings that businesses can rent located near the People's Market. The valley will be converted into a business area. Businesses will benefit, the government will benefit, and the youth will benefit. Regular bikes will be removed from their stations when the fee is paid. These will have built-in trackers for security and timers that calculate the cost. Bicycle taxis will be used for people who find it inconvenient to walk or bike themselves.
Multi-story indoor parking facility. This is a paid designated car park like our neighbors in St. Martin. They use car parks in the town, and we can implement this in the valley. These facilities will be west of the ABC Supplies, south of St. James Medical School, east of OKPS, and west of the old Anguillian building.
This is our mobile app and schedule. Our mobile app will be used to pay upon entry of the trams. The trams will be rotating about the valley 24 hours every day while momentarily waiting at each stop. Cars are permitted to drive through the valley from 6 p.m. until 6 a.m. the next day and can also enter for funerals, weddings, parades, etc. Cost is dependent on location, situation, and design. However, aerial trams generally cost between $10 to $30 million per kilometer. Average cost for solar panels are $9,225 to $28,000 US. Our aerial trams will cost 50 cents per ride. We chose this price because it's a daily thing and we don't want to overcharge our people. The rented bikes will be 5 EC an hour for children and 10 EC an hour for adults. Our parking will be 10 EC monthly or 50 EC cents every day. And our mobile app membership will be 10 EC a month. Benefit. The trams will reduce pollution rates, introduce new technologies, increase diversity of transportation, provide an eco-friendly way of transport, encourage other areas of the island to go green, create jobs, persons for ensuring proper operation of the trams, and on-site supervision, creates a sense of camaraderie in the community, builds a healthier lifestyle, and the extension of trams will attract tourists and locals, which will be profitable. Transforming the valley into a business area will introduce new businesses, create a town that is social and profitable, boost economic activity, and circulate revenue in the economy. Potential problems: funding. This is where we solicit investors to buy into the new Valley agenda. We want to sell this as the new project for persons wanting to invest into enhancing the Anguilla experience. Firms that rely on cars for businesses. As I previously stated, cars will be allowed to drive from 6 p.m. until 6 a.m. the next day, so they can acquire gas then or go to a car rental or mechanic at those hours. Public acceptance. Anguillians may be reluctant, seeing that we are used to private transportation, but we believe that once people actually experience it, they'll be open to our idea. As you can see, the pros far outweigh the cons. Sources of funding: the government, loans, foreign investors, and local credit unions. We believe this project will take 2 to 4 years to build.
We have some examples of where aerial trams have already been implemented. Here we have an example of the Palm Springs Aerial Tramway in California, the aerial tram in St. Lucia, and here we have a short video of the aerial trams in Mexico.
Araceli Segura and her daughters enjoy a bird's eye view of their neighborhood on their way home from school. Their new aerial commute is a world away from the buses they used to take, where robberies and assaults are common. Initially, Araceli felt anxious about this new public transport system up until her first ride.
Muy bonita experiencia, o sea, fue fantástica.
To be traveling through the air, it was a fantastic experience. Now my little ones and I use it practically every day. And most of all, I like the feeling of security because when traveling by bus, I never know what my children will experience.
The commuter cable car, North America's first, was inaugurated in early October. Officials hope to move around 29,000 people a day along the 4.8-kilometer route. The $90 million private-public project seeks to ease traffic congestion caused by rapid urban growth while beautifying the area to attract tourist dollars.
Some residents say that they could never have imagined that their neighborhood would ever look like this. Once gritty and gray, the gondola and its spin-off projects have given the area a colorful makeover.
More than 8% of the system's workers live in the local community. For single mom Alberta Sanchez, that means having more time with her family, one reason she's proud to be part of the project.
Bueno, yo me siento orgullosa.
I feel really good because they've provided jobs to those of us who live in neighborhoods close by. It's very convenient, and we avoid long commutes that used to be necessary.
The cable car is touted as an environmentally friendly solution to mass transit.
The gondola prevents 4,500 tons of carbon dioxide being released into the atmosphere every day, and that makes a major impact. It's like stopping 15,000 automobiles from circulating every day.
As urban cable cars attract more interest from city planners around the world, this form of commuting could be about to take off. David Mercer, Al Jazeera, Ecatepec, Mexico.
Potential questions or concerns you may have. How can you convince the government to buy into your business idea? Whereas Anguilla's main industry is tourism, we believe that is not the only thing that Anguilla should be fixated on. We want Anguilla catered to tourists and Anguillians alike. That is why we are selling this idea as a game changer for the Valley. We want the Valley to be a memorable place that Anguillians can enjoy. We understand that this won't happen in the flick of a finger, but we believe it is a walk towards progress and a change that cannot wait, should not wait. What about the road being made for cars? Well, as I previously stated, cars will be allowed to drive on the roads certain hours of the night and early mornings. We believe this is justifying the new road being built. It will also be used for biking lanes and can be used for sporting events. How will disabled people get through the valley? Well, we assure you there is enough space in our aerial trams for disabled people. But if they do not feel comfortable taking it, they can always use a bike taxi or just drive around the outskirts of the valley. What about height restrictions? Well, we have investigated this with assistance from MICU and the airport aviation. We have height allowances covered. The maximum is the airport roundabout, 148 feet, Napa intersection, 158 feet, roundabout at the education department, 164 feet, and the Albert Lake intersection, 144 feet. Our trams only range from 30 to 40 feet, therefore, they will not interfere with the planes.
Benefits of this idea. The environmental aspect. This will be solar powered. This will be powered by solar energy. Walking and biking will reduce pollution. The social aspect. It will create a sense of camaraderie in the community because we are going green together. The economic aspect. It brings in revenue and attracts tourists. It is high-tech because of the usage of air trams and our mobile app.
We would like to say a special thank you to Mr. Kendall Richardson of MICU and Mr. Jabari Harrigan, Executive Airport Manager, for their assistance with this information that would normally take a very long time to acquire. We would also like it to be noted that this model is not to scale, it's a representative, meaning that if you see 2 palm trees here, that does not necessarily mean there will be 2 palm trees there in real life. It just represents a palm tree area. The implementation of aerial trams will reduce carbon dioxide emissions and traffic cluster, provide an eco-friendly and efficient way of transportation, and bring high technology into Anguilla. Thank you.
Judges?
Thank you. Thank you for that lovely presentation. There's a lot to unpack with what you would have presented. I feel like you would have been in my dreams, but you went the extra mile. The tram, then you came with the multi-level parking area because it's a futuristic look, and that's really where we should be going in terms of urban development. I think Mr. Brooks will agree. And you're the first team that actually said you would ask government for permission to develop. So I think that's commendable as well. So give yourselves a round of applause for that. Your model is very streamlined. The fact that you're taking advantage of solar power during the day and then allowing persons to use their vehicles at night, it gives us some flexibility in terms of as a vehicle user. It's a little safer as well. Yeah, I mean, this is, I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. Thank you. Great presentation.
Any other comments or questions down the line? Mr. Brooks
tons of
can't
things.
help himself.
There are lots of things to unpack here. First of all, it must be so refreshing. This is so refreshing to be able to dream like this. I want to go back to high school. The fact that you sat there and you thought about this creatively, it's extremely creative. That's the first thing. And you didn't let the limitations of, and I hate to say this, reality, cause you to hinder or to give you tunnel vision. This is actually really beautiful. A quick question. Why did you decide to do aerial tram versus tram on street level? Is there a particular reason why? And they huddled. I love this. I love this. I love this. I love this. Yes.
Yes. We chose the aerial trams because the cost for the land trams was even more unrealistic, And the space with the roads, like a lot of the roads would have to be remodeled. And also the new road that they're building, we don't want to interrupt the walk there.
Realistic. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay. One of the things I said, you actually addressed, you're one of the few teams that actually addressed the issue of what we would do without having access to the center of the valley by cars. Because at the end of the day, you have to figure that out, and you addressed it quite beautifully. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Any other comments down the line? One more?
Okay, I'll make my comment quick. I absolutely love this idea. Love it, love it, love it. I have one question for you, which is going to be a bit of a spanner. What would you do if there was a hurricane in terms of securing your aerial tram? You can take your time.
It's called teamwork. Time? Tonight? All right, okay.
So the engineers, they're going to ensure that the things that the trams are on will maintain during a hurricane.
Good answer, good answer. Mr. Hughes, quickly.
I just had a question on costs and how long will it take to recoup the investment, because it's a tremendous cost. The upfront investment is tremendous. It's a huge cost. So how long do you envision recouping the cost of the investment, even with a public-private partnership that it takes into consideration government investment, private investors, and your own personal investment? I think it was somewhere in the region of $30 million, $30 million US dollars.
10 to 30 million.
10 to 30 million dollars, which is about 30 to 80 million EC dollars. So how long will it take with interest, the prevailing interest rates and the like, to see a return on investment? You don't have to answer that now.
All right. Let's put our hands, no other further comments up here, right? Let's put our hands together for AXA A-Makers. Thank you very, very much. We are now going to have our last team. And our last team is AXA. AXA. And they are 3 sixth formers.
Good evening, everybody. How is everybody doing tonight?
Good night.
So, my team and I chose to do the topic biodiesel, and our aims for this project was to design a model representing and showcasing like how we will go about using these biodiesels to power the school system, running like how the buses and stuff like that, and yeah, to also explain how we'll be execute this plan, and lastly to discuss some advantages and disadvantages of this idea.
Climate change refers to the long-term shifts in temperatures and weather patterns. Transportation exhaust alone makes up 29% of the pollution in the atmosphere. This has been an ongoing issue in the world today. To assist with this issue, we would help to reduce climate change by implementing biodiesel in the local transportation system for the schools here in Anguilla.
Introduction. Biodiesel is an alternative fuel which is derived from plants or animals, which consists of a long chain of fatty acid extract. There are various materials that can be used to create biodiesel. This includes vegetable oil, animal fats, short-chain alcohols such as ethanol and propanol, and equipment such as stainless steel retractor tanks, 500 microfilters, submersible turbine pumps, dispensers, and hanging hardware.
The method of creating biodiesel. Collection of used oils from the local restaurants on the island. Next, you will filter the oil using 500 micron filter, allowing unwanted water to settle and drain out from the bottom. Next, you will pump the oil into the processor and add the met oxide catalyst. Next, the oil reacts with the met oxide to form biodiesel and a glycerin co-product, allowing the glycerin to settle and then drain it off. Next, lastly, the oil is stored into drums, ready to be used.
Some advantages are because biodiesel is made from plant-based oils, recycled fats, and greases. It decreases the carbon in the atmosphere, making it less harmful, making it a less harmful impact on our environment. It also has a higher cyanide rating than petroleum diesel, making it easier to start and turn over an engine.
The startup cost would be a disadvantage, but in long term, the saving impact would be greater. Second, it is not suitable for use in low temperatures. And lastly, fertilizers used increase as more crops are planted to produce fuel, which can hurt the environment. The case review. In reference to the U.S. school transportation news, 50,000 premature deaths is caused annually by petroleum diesel. In switching to biodiesel, they saw a major decrease in deaths related to the diesel and a reduction in carbon emission. As a result, to switching to biodiesel in Anguilla, we will be able to see a long-term benefit in cost and the ability to save lives.
Venture location. Our ideal location for the station would be on the land of the Albina Lake College Comprehensive School Campus A. Reason for this location will be eventually the high school will be flattened and moving to the new location in Farrington, and the old campus will be vacant. Also, it's a more central location for the buses to do their routes. Our bus stops will be stationed in various districts along the different routes.
Due to the fact that we already have buses on island, there's no need to purchase new buses because the biodiesel can already work on the ones we have. And also, the Micron Filter 500, it only costs $2 for one. So you can get one for $2.
Cost analysis. The cost of the bus, we'll be basically using the buses we already have running plus the bus, a new bus for the valley road, for the valley. Since we'll be moving to the Farrington, it'll be a harder walk for the people in the valley and north side in that area to be able to walk to the school, so it would be better if we buy a bus for them. Also, for the micron filters, it'll be $2 for a micron filter. Stainless steel retractors is $46. Submersible turbine pump is between $200 and $300. Dispenser is $55 to $60, and hanging hardware will be $40 to $50 depending on where you get it from. Also, hold on, please. We'll charge these buses $20 per child per term. And with our calculations, we estimate about 500 students. So $20 per term, 3 terms, that will make us the profit of $30,000 per year, which will be 80,400 US EC dollars. And with this profit, we can also assist the maintenance of the new school.
Potential investors are a source of income. The government, fundraisers, and sponsorships from local and foreign businesses.
Trans biodiesel. We fuel the world. Reducing air pollution and global warming is on everybody's lips today. The biodiesel industry in particular is in desperate and immediate need for a greener, more cost-efficient and safer technologies. Founded in 2007, Trans Biodiesel has developed Tranzyme A, the world's only patent-protected, immobilized enzyme-based catalyst for industrial-scale production of biodiesel. While the chemical conventional process for the production of biodiesel is harmful to the environment and requires expensive, high-quality feedstock, Trans Biodiesel's technology allows the use of the lowest grade and least expensive feedstock, such as brown grease. Our immobilized enzymes, a game-changer technology, operates at ambient temperature with low carbon footprint and no toxic waste. The Tranzyme A used in our biodiesel process is reusable and can be used for more than 6 months, resulting in a significant reduction of production costs. The technology behind Trans Biodiesel's enzymatic process is groundbreaking. The process is very simple. The high acid value waste oil and the methanol are premixed and then added to the stirring continuous enzymatic reactor. The developed methanol-resistant immobilized enzymes catalyze both transesterification and esterification reactions in a one-pot reaction medium. The resulting reaction mixture after the enzymatic conversion instantly splits to 2 layers. The upper layer contains mainly crude biodiesel and minor concentrations of unreacted glycerides and free fatty acids. The bottom layer contains glycerol, water, and excess methanol. The reaction cycle using Tranzyme A delivers more than 96% conversion of any type of low-quality feedstock to crude biodiesel. The formed crude biodiesel is transferred to the post-treatment vessel using Trans Biodiesel's proprietary purification process to yield ASTM and EN spec grade biodiesel. Depending on the feedstock grade, the glycerol byproduct is clear and free of salts, which is much cleaner than glycerol produced by any other available technique used in the production of biodiesel.
To conclude, we need to switch our fuel option from regular petroleum to biodiesel for school buses and transportation in Anguilla in general. To preserve the earth and our lovely island, while providing more comfortable and cleaner transportation for Anguillan students, thereby simultaneously making Anguilla a cleaner place. We are the future of Anguilla, and our transportation should also be taken into consideration. Thank you.
All right, judges.
Thank you for your presentation, ladies and gent with the bass. I have a few questions. I didn't hear a lot about where you would be collecting the oil, and then I wanted to understand whether you were purchasing the equipment that goes with the video presentation that was made as part of the presentation. So I wanted to know if you were going to replicate that particular process. And then I just want to say congrats, because this might be the one presentation that will make a profit within the year.
Yeah.
So if you can answer those two questions, I think you're onto something.
Okay, so basically, where we'll be collecting our oil from, we'll be collecting our oil for free from different restaurants around Anguilla, because this oil usually gets dumped out into the oil, which will be, what's it called? We'll be recycling it, because when they dump the oil onto the dirt, that will be polluting the dirt, which will go into the water. Correct. So we prefer to use the oil, change the oil, and turn it into a form of fuel, because it can be dumped into our water sources, and we really don't want our water to be disturbed. And also, could you repeat your second question, please?
Well, there was the first one on the collection, and then are you using the same process, enzymatic process that you highlighted within your presentation?
Well, no, we'll be starting on a smaller scale, so we'll be using more domestic things to make the fuel, opposed to making fuel on a larger scale, like that. We will have smaller things that we can have inside our station itself. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And then one observation, I don't know if you saw the vegetable oil prices within the supermarket lately, but that since last year it went up by 192%. So your project is appropriately placed, right? Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job.
I just want to begin by congratulating you guys. I think we've had a lot of great presentations this evening, but you guys have kind of focused on what I call frugal innovation, which is using what we already have. One question that I had for you guys is, where would you be storing your fuel that you collect from these various business persons?
Well, that is like a source of income that we'll be focusing on as well. We'll have a facility to store our oil, a cool facility to make sure that, since it's grease now, it's extremely flammable, and Anguilla has hot climate, so we'd want to store it in a very cool place. So we probably make on the plot of land, since the campus A area is so big, we'll be able to have a storage area for the grease.
Okay, so you'll be including that in your costings for expenditure. And then the second question I had for you is in relation to your costing to clean this oil. Based on the video you played, the biodiesel has to be cleaned before it is used. Correct. Are you going to be doing, well, this is kind of similar to Andre's question, are you going to be cleaning the fuel yourselves? Are you going to be hiring persons to do the cleaning process and kind of setting up a manufacturing plant almost?
We won't be doing the plant version of it. We'll hire people to be able to clean the fuel. And also, this could be like an idea for schools as well. We can send people out from the schools to be able to learn how to clean these things and come back and be able to do them and things like that.
Please give you a round of applause to ALHCS, our last team for the evening. And so I'm going to just invite the judges. If anyone in particular, I'm going to give you 2 minutes. You can come forward. Those of you with laptops, you can come and open them back up, please. If the judges need to see anything up close and personal, I'll give you 2 minutes. And then we're going to collect your papers, judges. We're going to collect your folders. Sorry. This one, this is a tram. You can come, it's Ariel. This, Kishante, this is yellow. Whose zone is this, please? Cedar Farm? Cedar Park, sorry? No, that's Wendy. Please identify. Whose zone is this one? Number 1, 2, 3. This is yours, Wendisha? Okay, that's what I was asking. Cedar Park. The laptop. Who took up the laptop? Who took up the laptop? And there were 2 laptops here. Somebody took up another one. Well, we needed to show, the judges need to see. All right, now it's time for online voting. Everybody, you can go to our school Facebook page here and online. Go to the ALHCS school Facebook page. You are voting for the team that gave or delivered the best presentation. Not the team that your friends are on. Not the teams that you really idea you like. We are looking for the team that gave the best presentation. You're going to vote. So go. Are we on, Bex? Yes, we are on. We are on. You can go. Even those of you in the room or online, thank you for staying, hanging with us and not dropping sleep. You can go on and vote. It's a special prize for the best presentation. Go on to the school's Facebook page. We are going to vote. Everybody, you can come forward to answer any questions that the judges have. Ooh, I forgot to time. So we're gonna do 3 more minutes of online voting. We're gonna close our online voting in 3 minutes. All right. 3 more minutes. Okay, if you don't have Facebook and you want to scan a QR code, just raise your hand and Ms. Haskins will come to you with our QR code. If you want to vote but you don't go on Facebook or you don't have a Facebook, just go to Ms. Haskins and you can get your QR code scanned.
I don't care who listens.
All right, while the judges look at that, I'm going to give Mr. Carty the honor of saying something because he does have to run.
This way? Yeah, on the point of bedtime, Teacher Avanello, at this time of night, my brain is on 1.5 cylinders, so I'm on my way out. But I want to say something to all the children who did this, all of them. I'm not selecting any group. and all the teachers who did this. All of you deserve a OBE. And I want to say, especially to them and to all of you listening via who's sitting here or looking at whatever it is, the raising of awareness of this issue is absolutely crucial. And never mind the difficult questions that may have been thrown at you about the judges. Never let the experience of age stultify the exuberance of youth. You have the vision for the future, and I congratulate all of you for a brilliant job. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kaji. I will let you know how it pans out. Yes. All right. How many more minutes we have? We got 1 more minute, Bex. Where's Bex? We got 1 more minute. Let everybody know that they can vote at this point in time. And then right after this poll closes, we have another poll that's coming up. It's a fun one. It's not for a prize, but whoever wins this one will win the Best Presentation Award. Got it? Okay, good. Lois, you can... Oh. All right, judges, we do need to collect these folders so that we can get them tallied, and then so we can get some sleep. Some of us have been up from 4 or 5 this morning. You shut down? Okay, we shut down. We're going to find out who that winner is in a while, so Bex, you can tell Lois that. Our second poll, it's a little bit of a fun poll. And you know, Mr. Brooks, what I was thinking was that it's not impossible. It's not impossible to shut down the valley and make it a car-free zone. You know why? For the last couple of months, we've been outside the valley. It has been shut down. So we can see that it works. We have proof, right? Yes, we do. And Mr. Brooks, over the past 2 years, he has begged to move from judging aesthetically pleasing. No shade. But he's a portfolio entrepreneur, which means he goes from one thing to the next. And so this year, because Mrs. Najeri Richardson wasn't able to be with us, we switched him to creativity. So this poll that's... This poll, it's on our Facebook. It's on... I just need these. It's on our Facebook page as well, just in a sec, is it? All right, you can go to our Facebook page as the judges tally, and our judges are quick and accurate. And this one asks the question, so far in 2022, driving around through the valley is like A, doing trigonometry, B, playing Pac-Man, C, escaping a maze, or 4, playing peekaboo. So pick yours. You go to our Facebook page, trigonometry, a maze, playing Pac-Man, or playing peekaboo. Well, go on Facebook and decide and judge for which one is for you. Now I'm going to ask Ms. Kadel Hodge. Both of us are going to come together to say a big thank you to, well, we're going to try to say thank you to everybody. Ms. Hodge? Oh, you gotta put in your poll. Okay, put in your answer. It has been quite interesting moving through around the valley the last couple of weeks. Well, let me begin. I want to say a special thank you to our judges, especially the judges that have been with us for the last 3 years. This is the 3rd year that we have been working on this initiative, and I'd like to point out Mr. Samuel has been here for 3 years. Mr. Brooks, unfortunately, has been here for 3 years. Mrs. Rita Carty has been here for 3 years, and Mr. Romney has been here for 3 years. Can you give them a hand? Now, the others who have been in and out, we've had different persons. We do appreciate you. But we know coming here for 3 years, your consistent appearance at this event for 3 years speaks a lot. And so we know that requires a lot of energy. And the judge who's been here for 2 years, he is going to help to replenish that energy by giving you a pint of ice cream. A pint. What is that, British or American? Yeah, whichever one. Is pint, say that in Bristol, right? Okay. A pint of ice cream. And so please put your hands together for Mr. Kyle Hodge. So any flavor of ice cream you wish to have, Mr. Romney, Mrs. Carty, Mr. Brooks, and Mr. Samuel, the good gentleman, Mr. Kyle Hodge, has graciously donated, and we say thank you to Tropical Treats for doing so. All right? Yeah. Let me see. There's somebody else we need to say thank you to for on a big scale that I wanted to bring out. But for now, let's go to the rest of the scheduled programming.
On behalf of us at Albina Lake Hodge Comprehensive School and the business department, we would like to say a big thank you to the following people. First of all, we would like to thank God for his goodness, mercies, and blessings in allowing us to be capable for executing such an event. We thank our strategic partner, the Anguilla Youth Business Foundation, for all their assistance, especially the financial assistance of approximately 15,000 EC dollars. Notably, we thank Ms. Shanice Busby for all her hard work in collaborating with us, the principal, the senior management team, especially the deputy principals, Charmaine Ray Richardson, Rebecca Haskins, and Perry Richardson. We thank Flo for the gift of their Wi-Fi to allow us to stream online. Thank you to Titanium Songs for stage sounding and lighting. Thank you to Von Hazel and In Anguilla for sharing our event on their platforms. We thank our judges who always make this event exciting. We thank Ms. Richelle Rogers-Webster for cheerfully contributing to the cost of our deco. We thank Javier Richardson Gomez and Intrek Events and Designs for doing a lovely deco job. Mr. Linden added the touch of the podium to this setting by covering its costs. We also thank him. We thank Carl Connor and Mr. Trenton Roach for palms behind the stage and the plants on the outskirts. We also are grateful to our maintenance officer for transporting the plants and other items, Mercedes Fleming for her deco touches, the bib coaches for their time and energy working with the students, all the bib teams, thank you, Radio Anguilla and the Anguillian for publicity, parents, family, and support systems, thank you, Tropical Treats for ice cream donations, and our custodian of the auditorium, Ms. Ava Richardson. Thank you.
Saying thank you is never enough, but we are grateful. We also want to add to that list Purple Rose, Florists, and Black Orchids. They have contributed to the podium and to the decor. We want to thank them very, very, very much. And where do we go from here? We are waiting on our judges. Are they? You want me? Oh boy. I'll be back. All right, just a few announcements. This is our business week. On Friday, we are inviting everyone to come back here into this room. And we're going to have something called the Ethne Richardson Entrepreneurship Exposition. We will have being showcased businesses that are operated by students and by teachers. We are also going to have a special touch this year. The Anguilla Community College will be here and they'll be selling food to eat, and this will be going on all day from 9:45 a.m. to 5 p.m. We do believe somewhere in there you can pop in and support. A couple of the students up here will be showcasing their business as well. Just to note that for the last 2 years, the first 2 years of this event, we were at the Teachers Resource Center, and now we have moved here. And we hope that every year we can get better and improve in our BIB. One of the things we are considering is maybe doing a runoff in terms of having preliminary trials, and then the final BIB being the top presenters that will come to this BIB. Do y'all think that would work? Yes, that might work. Yes, and I am cognizant that it is 10:21, and by now some of us would be in our second turning overs, and some of us have had very hard days in last couple of weeks. Lots of activities, different, ranging from one emotion to another. And so really and truly, I really do want to say thank you for remaining alert and for not nodding off, pushing a little bit as we support our young people as they deal with real serious issues, which we really want to make a little bit, as much lighter as possible for our great-grandchildren. We want to hand them over something that we enjoyed, not a problem which we created. And that's one of the points, or the purposes of today. And I am still awaiting the judges. They're coming back. If coming, okay, great. Okay, I'm just going to ask you to, y'all can go back down. Yeah, you can go back down, and I'm going to call you up as your names are announced. Thank you. I'm going to ask Mr. Clemvio Hodge, and I'm going to ask Mrs. Rita Celestine Carty to come to the stage. And we're going to be, Ms. Shanice Busby, maybe you'll need to give them a little bit of assistance on the stage. Thank you, Ms. Kentish Rogers, for being here. Mr. Romney, can I see a minute, please? All right, we're going to start with our special awards. And for our special awards, we have some special prizes. We have Fitbit watches, Bluetooth speakers, and we have Amazon, $100 Amazon gift cards. So for the team that received the online voting of best presentation went to ALC Transportation. You can please. Hold on. Thank you. Now for the team that was voted beyond extraordinary, they get Bluetooth speakers, and the Bluetooth speakers go to the Shakers. All right, they are getting, Anguilla electronic gift cards. Thank you, Shakers. Team voted for the best idea to execute, the Shakers. So now we have for first, second, and third place. First place will get Chromebooks, laptops. Second place will get Samsung tablets. Third place will get scholarship funds, meaning any money they have paid or will pay for CAPE or CSEC subjects, that money will be refunded back to them. Again, all of this through our strategic partner, the Anguilla Youth Business Foundation. Can you give a hand to them, please? Third place, we have Eco-Engineering. There's also a silent gift that everybody gets in the bib. Once you're 18 and you can drive, you go down to Moke, Anguilla, and you and your team can get a free ride. A free day for the day, you get a Moke for the day. Yes? So it's consolation for, everybody won't win. And we really do try to make sure everybody gets a prize, and we will do so. But everybody can get a ride and a Moke when you enter the bib. And who do we thank? Who do we thank? The Moke man. And that's why, after 3 years, we really might do a whole shift of judges, except for a few people. We will always need our principal, we will always need our CEO, but we will always need the Moke man, right? Yes. Second place, please give it up for the Shakers. Mr. Premier, a very special thanks for staying. Thank you. And all right, we've come to the number 1 spot. And our top team for the 3rd annual ALHCS Business Idea Basket is AXA makers. Please give them a hand. Come on down. Come on down. Please give them a hand. The judge's decision is final. The judges had a tough job. I am sorry. I am so sorry for the fact that everybody couldn't be number 1, and you judges, I really wouldn't want to be in your shoes because all these presentations were so excellent. Bex, we need the tally on that last poll. Please give AXA A-makers a hand again. Yes, thank you. Awesome job. And while Mrs. Carty, yes, that's it. And while Mrs. Carty, you'll come to the podium? Okay. Mrs. Carty is going to give some very brief remarks, as well as Mr. Romney is doing some very brief remarks, and they are both sleepy, I know, and very, very hardworking all along. So I know they're not going to keep you long, but they're very important. I can do that after, but come. Thank you.
Audience, wasn't this time well spent? It certainly was for me, and I won't keep you much longer because it has been a long evening and these are still tough times, but I'm sure we got some relief this afternoon, this evening by listening to this basket of ideas and basket of ideas that are not unrealistic at all. It may not be well known, it may not be known at all, but in the statement of philosophy of the Albina Lake Hodge Comprehensive School, and one of its goals, and I think that this was also a pivotal part in helping us to establish the relationship with our strategic partner, we say that the school must be organized to help children and young people to identify the problems confronting them and to deal with these problems by bringing their intelligence, their individually and cooperatively, and the resources of the community to bear as part of the solution. And this has been around for a very long time. If you check our website, you can see that it's there, and we would like it to become common knowledge. And at this point, we must commend the business department under the leadership of Ms. Griffith for giving our students that voice that we have always said that they should have in a forum such as this. So give them all a big round of applause, please. And I'm sure, although we were delighted with their presentations, they grew even during their presentations. So our statement of philosophy and our goal goes on to say, from these experiences, each student will be better able to understand the complexities of the social and economic environment and to adapt to his or her ever-changing physical, emotional, and intellectual needs. These experiences must also contain valid activities that can enable them to make valuable contributions to community development with competence, confidence, and commitment. We have done that, and we deserve some more of your applause. The Anguilla Youth Business Foundation has already been thanked, and I draw attention to their mission statement of creating that enabling environment for an entrepreneurial culture. We realize we have to innovate and we have to do things differently if we are simply to survive. And at this point, I would like to even recognize our students here and acknowledge the fact that we are a comprehensive school and the needs of our students differ. So the Anguilla Youth Business Foundation, I'm sure, has, realized or satisfied that need for that external motivation in terms of the prizes to go along with what we saw was real collaborative learning and that intrinsic motivation, because in every presentation during the question and answer section, you could see that our children had things to say. So to complement that intrinsic motivation that they have that added thing of a prize. Isn't that a good thing to have? The prize, definitely. Other students have other needs. So at this point, I want to ask the community for their continued goodwill and partnership to satisfy and to cater to those other needs that our students have, because we are committed to serving them all, no matter their need. So please be there when we call you. Thank you very much in advance.
I'm going to do something tonight that I've never done, I think, in public speaking. I fully endorse the comments of our principal. My congratulations to the business department and to all our students on a job well done. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Honestly, tonight was really a good night, a little long, but really good. And so I will pray that your short sleep will end up being a long, sweet one. Escaping a maze, that's what's driving through the valley feels like to most people who took the pool. Have a good night, everybody. And get your moke ride. Get your moke ride. Get your moke rides, okay? You just go to Mr. Van Brooks.